put himself in a compromised position.
He let him up, though. It's 8-6. Actually, 8-7.
And now we'll see who's going to get the last takedown. And he's in on that single. He's so tough right here.
Got that bad knee, and he's got him down, and there's
Nothing
two.
yet. Nothing yet.
That's
Nothing yet.
two. They gave him two. It's 10-6 for the takedown.
WYLAND held on to that whizzer, but they felt that the hips were down and he was in control, so they gave it to him. And he escapes right away again.
Escape. 10-7.
Keep it on the wrestle. Keep it on the mat.
Actually 10-8, but only 25 seconds remain.
We'll see if CUVO shuts down here. He can actually give up a stall call. So I look for him probably not to try to... Well, his best defense is his offense.
Yeah.
He's back in there again, but he wants to be careful of those trips.
That's right.
And WYLAND's got that nifty headlock as well.
A takedown by WYLAND would make this a tied match.
Ooh.
Oh, very close. Just the out of bounds saved the champion. Jack CUVO of East Stroudsburg State trying to win his second Division I championship. And 3 seconds remain.
That'll do it.
Yep.
That'll do it.
It is. It's over.
A great match by CUVO, but a very gutsy match by WYLAND as well. And CUVO shows why he's champ. Congratulating his coaches in the corner.
CUVO wins it. Final score 10-8. As the 118-pound championship is decided, we'll be back with more from Myriad Center right after this. Looking back at Jack CUVO, he's to the left of your screen, going after that left knee, the one that caused Doug WYLAND so much trouble and obviously pain. It was a great match, this opener, for the 118-pound championship. CUVO was magnificent. There he is. And what courage, what determination by WYLAND. That had to be a tremendously tough loss for him, considering the injury. And what a great win for CUVO.
Well, I think WYLAND was affected by that knee injury. I think it limited his countering CUVO's single, but there were lots of points scored, and that's what makes wrestling exciting, getting points on the board.
Indeed, 18 in all. We're looking now at the lineup for the 126-pound championship. Michael Stokes from North Carolina State. 2 decisions, a technical fall, and 1 on criteria. His victories moving into this championship. Kendall Cross of Oklahoma State. 3 decisions and 1 pin. And, of course, he is part of the team that has clinched the championship. And I tell you, whatever he does is, Jeff, is certainly going to draw a roar of approval from this crowd, is it not?
Oh, it certainly is. And he says he gets motivated by this crowd. You know, the team winning and such is really going to make him a better wrestler here tonight. But he's going to have his hands full. Stokes is tough.
Oh, yes. He beat Stokes, who will be in the white and red uniform as they come together at the center of the mat. He beat Stokes in the quarterfinals here in this tournament in 1988. Stokes says technique and movement.
Oh, beautiful single. He caught Stokes flat-footed. Now let's see if he can finish. He got nice and low on the ankle. Now he's got to control that. Now he doesn't have control yet in that out-of-bounds line. He's going to get pulled out of bounds. He'll have to start up again.
The referee is Dave Frisch of Colorado Springs, Colorado. His assistant, Fran Michael of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Remember now, this first bout, first match, first round, 3 minutes. The others are 2 minutes each. If they go to overtime, it's 3 1-minute rounds.
Cross said he wanted to take Stokes out of that good stance. Stokes, a very tough wrestler if you don't have a lot of motion. And Cross wanted to get lots of motion to try to make Stokes flurry a little bit. And that's his whole game plan here. And really, I thought Stokes would be coming after Cross, but it's Cross who's done all the initiating thus far, getting in on 2 good single legs. He's trying to rub around out before they go to the out of bounds, and the referee breaks it, neither wrestler being able to improve.
126 pounds, Stokes of North Carolina State.
Cross is going to have to start capitalizing on some of these shots. He gets in nice and tight, but is unable to finish. And you can see Stokes is a very powerful individual. He's able to pull Cross right up off his legs. Tremendous strength. And here he's going to get around behind him. He tries an arm throw. It's not any points yet.
Very close, though.
He's in on the leg tight. Now he's got a double. He puts Cross on his backside, but has not gained control because Cross is locked through the crotch, and they're going to give it to him.
Takedown. Gave a takedown for 2.
Well, you can see as soon as the points were awarded, Cross let go of that counter. He now trails 2-0. He's going to have to get out of there. We'll see what Stokes does in terms of offense. He's hanging onto the leg.
Still red. Still red. Still red.
You can hear the official saying still red. The minute it goes to orange, why, that would be a reversal, but or an escape at any rate.
He's almost got it. There it is.
There it is.
He was able to work Stokes' hands free off his leg, and once you do that, that's loss of control. That's the neutral position, and the escape is awarded.
So it's 2-1, Stokes, North Carolina State, leading Kendall Cross of Oklahoma State University. They are the team champions, and this would be just icing on the cake for Cross to win this 126-pound title. It's the first time in the finals.
I had double underhooks there, and the out of bounds kept him from finishing that technique, but he's using that power to just go upper body and maul Cross. Really not a whole lot of technique there. It's almost Greco wrestling, and Cross comes right back with a nice single, good and low. Let's see if he can finish this one, and there it is. That's a 2-point takedown. He now leads 3-2.
Work up, Grant.
And that's the best defense for upper body, is stay low, and when the man plants his feet, hit his ankles, and he did a great job of it. And Cross has got that nice, tough leg right in. Let's see if he can try to turn Stokes. Here it is. He's got him to his side. He's broken him down to his belly. That's a good position for the top wrestler. He's awful high,
15
though.
seconds. Keep going.
There he settles back a little bit.
Still green.
Hanging onto his own leg.
Still green.
And he'll try to ride out the period. There's only 5 seconds left. And that's exactly what he'll do now.
Yep.
But an interesting first period. It's Stokes and Cross each had a takedown.
Plus an escape, so it's 3-2 in favor. The advantage time is minimal. It is 13 seconds in favor of Cross, but remember, you have to have at least a minute to think about getting a point. Looking on very, very intently there is the coach from North Carolina State, Bob Guzzo.
You see Cross getting that takedown, getting the low ankle of Stokes, and then able to reach across, grab the other ankle, knock him down, thus earning the takedown, and goes right into his ride. Tries to break him down to the mat.
What kind of a mat wrestler is Stokes? He's...
Well, right there, it didn't seem like he was too impressive defending against the legs, but he just might have gotten caught there and unable to improve from that position. Having both legs in is a difficult position on bottom to try and free yourself from. And here you see Cross with that whizzer, and he's able to turn and face him. But Stokes right back in, and again has that lock really deep, but the out-of-bounds saves Cross again.
4-2, Cross of Oklahoma State leading Stokes of North Carolina State.
Got to be careful. Those upper body holds can land you right on your back. And Cross has had success getting to Stokes' ankle. I look for him to continue that strategy. But there you see the power of Stokes. He's able to pull himself around, but Cross counters it again. He's sitting out of bounds on that line.
Very close to it. And the judge, the referee says yes, he is out. Minute 20 remaining here. We're in period number 2. It's a 2-minute period. Period 3 will be 2 minutes.
Scores 4-2 now with Cross, and we'll see what Stokes can do now to start closing that gap. He needs a takedown. Thus far, he's just gone with those big underhooks and tried to pull himself around. There's another single, but that's going to go out of bounds as well. Most of the action in this match has come close to the edge, with one of the wrestlers seeming to relax and then the other one trying to take quick advantage of it.
Stokes in the red and white, and Cross is in the orange and black of Oklahoma State.
Cross is extended here. He might get taken down. Anytime you have your arms reached out in front of you and you're staring down at the mat, it's a tough position to wrestle from.
But he's going to have to swing his body around, Stokes that is, and Cross has been able to stop him from doing that on a couple of occasions. There's another try, and Cross gets away again.
Stalemate. Cross tied up Stokes' left arm. That's why Stokes was able to spin around behind. But if he puts himself in that position too many times, it's going to work against him.
Half a minute remaining here in period number 2. It is 4-2 score-wise. Cross of Oklahoma State leading. That's he.
Stay in there.
Yeah, the referee, they want these wrestlers to stay in the middle, and they seem to always travel to the edge before one of them takes a lock, and Cross drops down on the single. Getting to his feet now. He's going to look for the finish. Tries to spin him down. Stokes keeping good balance, hopping on one leg, and now he's in that out-of-bounds line. He's got to be careful. Cross has that other ankle, but he doesn't have control yet. He's going to have to pull that in. And this year it's the toes in bounds. Even though the rest of the body's out of bounds, if he can get that control with his toes in, they'll score the takedown, but that went out of bounds.
Red, your choice. Up, down, neutral.
That period is over. We go to period number 3.
Red down.
Stokes has gone to the down position.
Come on, Green.
Well, he's looking for that escape point here, and then if he can get a takedown, it'd actually win him the match. That's a smart strategy here. We'll see if WYLAND can keep Stokes down, though. Stokes being very deliberate on his approach getting up. He knows that Cross is going to try that leg right again, and that's exactly what he does. He drops down to the single.
If he could free that leg, he'd get an escape, but he hasn't been able to do so yet.
That's Cross's response. There, he spins him back down. That was a nice finish. That's what he was trying to do originally on the takedown. And there, he's got what's known as a split scissors. He's got that leg in, and he's actually forcing a split of Stokes, but Stokes is able to counter it. Boy, that could be a painful move. He could wind up being pinned, too.
Minute 20 remaining in the match.
He's not going to be able to hang there. The referees will look at that as stalling. He's got to try to improve his position and bring Stokes back to the mat and see what happens. They call it a stalemate. He is being offensive there. That is almost a pinning combination, but the referee will frown if he keeps throwing legs in and then just hang on his opponent, not trying to bring him back down to the mat.
He's leading 4-2 with 1:11 to go in this third and final period of regulation time. 126-pound championship at stake. That's Cross of Oklahoma State. His team has already clinched the team title. He's trying to add this icing to the cake by getting the 126-pound championship.
Well, he has a leg-on cradle, and I don't know what they called there.
I think a stalemate again, did they not?
Yeah, that's an interesting call. You know, he has a workable situation there, and he chooses not to do it. And he could get himself in trouble with a stall call.
Well, the discretion of the official, Jeff, is really important in these matches, obviously, for Oklahoma State. The coach, Joe Say.
And Cross again in on the legs. He said he wanted to be the mat wrestler in this match. And he's doing exactly that.
But he's got to escape to get a point. As long as that leg is locked in there, he's not going to get away from Cross.
Get to work.
And he's built up riding time as well now, and in a few seconds, that's going to be guaranteed, which is going to ensure him another point.
Yes.
He only needs 6 more seconds, and he's got it locked.
And he leads 4-2. 31 seconds remain. He has riding time of 1:26. So that would be an additional point. So in essence, he is leading 5-2.
He's got that locked up right now.
And
there's the stall call.
Stall call again.
We've been waiting for that.
Hanging on him.
You hear the referee say hanging, and that's exactly what he did. You have to bring your opponent down and try to turn him.
Just a warning, though, Jeff.
No points were awarded.
No.
The next one now will start costing him points. And he really doesn't want to get in that situation, because if Stokes gets away, a takedown could wind up make him losing the match.
Green, still green.
Stokes has got that leg pretty much out in front. Now, Cross hangs on here. They might deem that as stalling as well, but he's working his way up.
Stokes is awfully close to having a reversal and getting right back in it, but he's not going to make it. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1.
Lock it up, and Cross is going to win the national championship.
That's exactly right. So, Kendall Cross, a very happy winner. Michael Stokes, disconsolate. We'll be back with more right after this message.
When you're up against tough dirt,
Come to True Value Hardware stores, where tough competitors take it away. With strong Palmyra bristles and a self-locking handle, this Super Brute 18...
ESPN bringing you the NCAA Championship Wrestling Division I. We're at the Myriad Convention Center here in Oklahoma City. This is a look at the escape, the victory to Kendall Cross of Oklahoma State University, his first appearance in the finals of this prestigious event, and he turns it into the charms. When he wins it, final score was 5-2 against Stokes, who got away. There's the happy winner, Kendall Cross, 5-2 the final. Now, T.J. Sewell, Moore, Oklahoma, wrestling for the University of Oklahoma against Sean O'Day of Meadville, Pennsylvania, and he's from Edinboro. Now, 3 decisions and a pin for T.J., 2 technicals, 2 decisions, a major decision for Sean O'Day. And Oklahoma is very much in contention with last year's champion, Arizona State, for position 2 in the team standings. There's Sean O'Day, two-time NCAA Division I All-American. If Oklahoma wins this match, and it's on Sewell right there, they must. It's incumbent upon Oklahoma to win both of their matches. They have 2 men appearing, and so does Arizona State. But Arizona State just has to win one to ensure the title unless Oklahoma wins 2. Important bout for T.J. Sewell, Jeff.
Well, Oklahoma came out of nowhere. No one expected them to be in a position to be runner-up in the national tournament. But these athletes have performed well, and T.J. is one of the leaders, and he hasn't lost in his last 33 consecutive collegiate matches. So he's on a hot streak, but Sean O'Day is tough as well. He's the number 3 seed, Sewell's the number 4 seed, both of them beating the upper seeds in their brackets in order to get to this final. And O'Day's in on a beautiful single. Sewell has that whizzer counter. Very prominent counter for any leg shot is to use that whizzer. And there you see him flatten O'Day out with the power of that whizzer. So we'll see if they can score from it. And he counters O'Day down, and they're both in that neutral position. And there's Sewell trying a quick shot, and O'Day's able to spin around, but they're on the out-of-bounds line. That won't count.
Sewell beat Fisher of Michigan. They had to go to overtime. It was a very close match. And he admitted that he kind of coasted a little bit in the late going of the third period, and then he beat him quite easily 8-1 in the overtime.
Well, O'Day did the first shot of this match. He got in quick on a nice single leg, and there when he reached up to the waist, he invited Sewell to take the whizzer, and that's exactly what Sewell did. Countered him down, and they're still on their feet.
O'Day is one of those wrestlers in this event that has been busy going at it ever since Thursday. He's had 5 matches. This is the 6th in this NCAA championship affair.
And Sewell shot a nice high crotch. It's a single with the head on the outside. And
Nothing yet.
You hear the referee saying nothing yet. And O'Day, there it is.
Sewell gets points. O'Day seems shaken up. The referee is Dan Campbell of Boise, Idaho.
Sewell, having dropped O'Day down to his bottom, now just needs to finish and get the control position. O'Day trying to hang on, but Sewell able to clear his arm out, gain control, and at the takedown point, he leads 2-0.
135, gentlemen, 135. Relax and set. Still.
Anytime a wrestler's safety is in question, the referee will break the hold, and that's exactly what they did in that position. And O'Day does a nice Granby. He's able to get into the legs again, but Sewell's still hanging on and controlling, and brings them down. They'll go out of bounds again.
2-0 Oklahoma. J.T. Sewell leading in this opening period. Minute 24 remaining. Oklahoma must have this victory to keep their chances alive for second place. Back of Oklahoma State, the winner. Arizona State currently in second place, leading by 5.5 points.
And O'Day strikes right back
and gets 2.
An escape and a takedown. He now leads at 3-2, and there's Sewell coming around. There's an escape for Sewell. We got lots of action here. It's got the fans involved. Well, Sewell's head under there. He's controlling O'Day's arm, and O'Day's reaching for the ankle pick, but he doesn't have enough leverage, and he's countered out of it, and there they're out of bounds again. They'll start fresh in the center.
Let's go, Green.
Score is 3-2.
55 seconds. 55.
That's in favor of Sewell. That escape point there. And O'Day in again, and he's able to bang Sewell down, and he's given the 2 points. That was really quick.
4-3 now in favor of O'Day.
Go. Let down. Let's go, Oklahoma.
Wonder if O'Day's now starting to get some momentum going. That's 2 quick takedowns in a row.
43 seconds.
You hear the referee telling him how much time remains in the period. He wants Sewell down.
Nice and set. Set. Top on.
And you see that they set the bottom wrestler and then invite the top one in.
Either way.
Any false start will draw caution here.
4-3 in favor of O'Day. There's an escape. 4-4. We're tied.
O'Day's going to want to wrestle this match on his feet. He feels he's the better takedown wrestler here. DJ needs takedown of his own. That breaks the rhythm, and it changes the strategy of O'Day, because suddenly instead of leading, he's now playing catch-up. And when you force a wrestler into playing catch-up, almost any sport, it's really tough to do. And there, nice shot. Goes for the quick single, couldn't quite get it, but again, he seems to be controlling the action on the feet.
Sewell showed some dancing ability, Jeff. He just scampered away there.
Now, it's good counter, quick feet, able to, elude that ankle pick. But as long as O'Day can continue, that's the end of the first period. As long as O'Day can control the tie and unbalance Sewell, he's going to continue to get those good shots.
We're tied at 4-4 here, going into period number 2.
Here we go.
So we'll look at
Gentlemen, let's go.
O'Day's reversal points earlier in the period. He stood up and hit a quick switch, came right around, grabbed both the ankles, and as soon as both of Sewell's knees touched, that's ruled a takedown.
So it's 4-4 as we go to the second period. This is a 2-minute affair, as will be period number 3.
And again, Sewell gets away. O'Day trying just a quick snapback after he lifted him up, and it didn't work.
5-4 now for Sewell of Oklahoma.
We'll see O'Day now start to go back to the leg attack, and this now will start putting him in the lead.
O'Day of Edinboro and Sewell of Oklahoma.
I don't like him slowing the pace down. O'Day seems to be more successful when he's dancing and keeping Sewell off balance. He doesn't want to slow that pace down because then that's Sewell's style of wrestling.
Use the red.
This is the 134-pound class.
Use the red.
Sewell of Oklahoma, he's to the left of your screen in the solid red jersey. 5-4, he leads.
You see O'Day with that lead step, that's called a sugarfoot stance. He could be tempting Sewell to bait, but usually what he does with that one leg forward, you never know quite when he's going to drop the knee and take that quick penetration step, and and the quick ankle pick attempt. Sewell with that whizzer counters him down.
Work to stay on.
Tough position for O'Day. It's very difficult. You have to square yourself off and pull that arm off his back to free yourself of that whizzer. He does it, and they want the fresh start.
They went off the edge of the mat with 43 seconds remaining in period number 2, and Oklahoma, Sewell leading 5-4.
The referee's very energetic, calling for the wrestlers to hurry back to the center. And a quick pace like this, that's going to determine the conditioning quality of both these athletes, and that could have a big effect in the latter part of this match. O'Day again gets the ankle pick that time and
gets 2.
Scores the takedown. And here's a quick reversal. Escape. You're right, and again he's in on that leg, but action takes him out of bounds. And that was a quick takedown call.
Wasn't it? 6-6 is the score. The riding time or advantage time is minimal in this. Will not have an effect so far in the outcome of this match. 13 seconds remain in the second period, and this is deadlocked at 6. I remind you again, an important bout for T.J. Sewell of Oklahoma. He must win this to keep his team, Oklahoma, in contention for second place.
Well, the strategy, and there's another ankle pick, and it seems that O'Day has found a weakness in Sewell's style.
8-6 now in favor of J.T. Sewell is in trouble.
Here's that O'Day ankle pick.
Yeah, the ankle pick.
Down, and right here is where they awarded the takedown, and it was close. Sewell had that arm tied up, but it only takes a momentary control in order to award that takedown, and the referees felt he had it, and that was real close.
But he got a quick escape out of it right away, too. Did you notice? The deadlocked it at 6. And now, 8-6.
8-6, gentlemen.
And we're starting the third period. Anytime you have a takedown wrestler, it's usually he'll take him down, let him go. So it's 2 for me, 1 for you, 2 for me, 1 for you, and you build up your lead that way. And Sewell had the first takedown, but O'Day battled back with that kind of a strategy, and he now leads 8-6.
Trying to escape. If he gets away, he'll increase his advantage. And Sewell trying to pick up some riding time, but it's very minimal. It doesn't I don't think it's going to have an effect on this match. They're out of bounds. They'll get back to the center of the mat again.
Sewell was using a crab ride there, pulling his opponent onto his hips and almost going to his own back, throwing in a half Nelson and looking for back points. I think Sewell's going to try to keep him on the mat. Try to build up that one point
turn him over, huh?
Try to turn him, but he's going to need a 2-pointer. The riding time will do him no good.
No. There's no advantage for it at all. With a minute 43.
It seems to me that Sewell really doesn't want to battle O'Day on his feet, or else he's just trying to take a little steam out of O'Day, break that momentum. O'Day's had 4 straight takedowns to get his 8 points.
There's a minute 35 remaining in this match. O'Day of Edinboro, who's in the down position, leads by 2. Score is 8-6. O'Day is set.
See if Sewell here, what he's going to try for a turning technique. Staying low, that's not going to get him back points. going to keep O'Day down, but he needs to pick up 2 somewhere here. He might start looking at the referee for help here, maybe trying to draw a stall call against O'Day.
Looks to me like O'Day is still very active, or trying to be. Jeff, there's no indication of a stall. And now time becomes an enemy of Sewell, too. 1:15 to go in this match.
Minute 15.
Correct. There's not even been a caution handed out, or a warning, excuse me, for stalling. Sewell is going to have to turn his opponent here. That, or after maybe a minute, he might let him go, feeling that he has been unsuccessful with it and he won't get to it.
O'Day's trying to get away for an escape and is very, very close to it. Sewell has got him by a leg, which will negate that unless he can break it free.
But this is great for O'Day. He's in on a leg and he's underneath, and here Sewell's hanging on for dear life, using a lot of energy and not getting any kind of a offensive threat going against O'Day in terms of picking up those 2 points.
And less than a minute, 55 seconds remaining, and now Sewell taking a moment to tie his shoe. 55 seconds, O'Day leading this man 6-4.
Gentlemen, 55.
Excuse me, 8-6.
Set. Right on. 59 seconds riding time, Red.
J.T. Sewell is,
Top man.
T.J. Sewell, I should say, is trailing by 2 points. O'Day, there's an escape. He's down by 3 now.
Yeah, but he got that riding time. I see Sewell's strategy now. Now if he gets a takedown, he ties, but O'Day with another ankle pick. Oh, just lost a great opportunity for a takedown that really might have cinched this match up.
Coming down to a half-minute remaining. O'Day leading 9-6. Sewell would get a point for the advantage in riding time.
It's
That would
actually
make it 9-7.
A takedown here could tie it, put this match in overtime. But there's the takedown by O'Day. He's controlled the action on his feet. He now holds
An 11-6 advantage.
He
That's
had
going
that
to wipe
escape.
it out.
That should be 11-7 plus the riding time makes it 11-8, but that's a 3-point margin.
But they didn't give him
that.
They didn't give him one for the escape.
Yeah, they did. There it is. It just went up on the screen
No,
now.
I think they gave him the riding time is all, but they didn't. Well, there's 6 seconds left, so they did indeed. And you'll get another for the riding time, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
And O'Day will win that championship. He's the best wrestler at 134 pounds.
And it'll be 11-8, the official score on that. And what it does, more importantly, of course, for O'Day, he could care less about that. He's the champion. It is going to make it near impossible now for Oklahoma to grab second place. We'll be back with more championship wrestling after this.
I used pressure-treated lumber, and I still have $800 in water damage. How come?
Even treated wood needs Thompson's water.
AA Championship Wrestling, Division 1. This is an overtime session between Junior Saunders of Arizona State, 142-pound class, and the champion of this division, Pat Santoro of Pittsburgh. They ended regulation at 6. First 3 periods, and now 3 one-minute periods in this overtime session to settle this championship.
And they treat the overtime as a match within itself. Any stall warning calls are thrown out, and they start the stall warning process again over in overtime. And both wrestlers seeming to go out of bounds quite a bit on their feet. With Santoro, who surprised Saunders right away with a takedown with that kind of a single-leg shot. But it was Saunders in the end getting a takedown and Santoro getting the escape that knotted the score to bring it to this overtime session.
We don't have anything else. We'll back up.
Referee right on top of his game. We don't have anything here, he said. That's Henry.
He doesn't want to waste any time in a stalemated position. He wants to give them every opportunity to score on one another.
20 seconds remain in this first overtime period. Each of the 3 is a minute in duration. And again, they're off the mat.
Santoro wrestles a lot from his knees, but he's effective at it. Maybe he knows what his limitations are, but that's a tough position when you're reaching with that arm. Earlier, Saunders almost scored on a counter to that, shucking that arm by because he was too far extended.
You can see the time in period number 1 coming to a close. The crowd a bit unhappy with the performances, I think, by both men, who feel that each is a bit more cautious than they should be. But at any rate, we've gone through the first overtime period, scoreless. We go to period number 2. Red has his choice.
Red defers.
He defers.
Down. Green
Santoro
down.
is going down. Saunders
Hey, no
deferred.
cautions, no warnings in the overtime, all right?
He'll have his choice in the
Get
third
set.
period, Tom.
Second
That's
period.
his
Either be the
strategy.
rider or go down, yeah.
anytime you have an overtime match, you have to remember anything that happened in the regulation match concerning warning. Anytime you have a warning for stalling in the regulation, it's thrown out in the overtime. They treat the overtime as a separate match within themselves. And
Santoro let him. Santoro got up just like that for a quick point. Why would Saunders defer if he was not going to put any more pressure on Santoro than that?
Well, deferring means giving him his choice. So
I understand, but I mean, if he wasn't going to wrestle him any stronger than that, why would he give him that opportunity for the quick point? Doesn't make sense to me. Why not assume the down position himself? Because he put up no resistance at all, and Santoro was out of that position in a moment, and he's got a 1-0 lead.
Saunders is a takedown specialist. He feels even though Santoro's going to get away, he should be able to take him down. And then in the second period, shoes down. Almost spun around behind him. He feels then that Santoro is he'll get a shot at escaping in the third period to not the score at 1, or if he's got the lead, take the bottom position. That would put him up 3-1 with that 2-point advantage.
He's trailing 1-0, and there is Santoro's coach shouting from the sidelines, and that would be the young man from Pittsburgh, Randy Stottlemyre.
Well, it is surprising. He should be doing a little bit more action on his feet, going for a takedown.
Well, period number 2.
He puts himself in the corner there of having to get away.
That's right. He's down 1-0. I don't quite understand his strategy. Now he's going to assume the down position.
Well, the best action thus far in overtime was this little bit of flurry where Santoro got around that arm and almost got around Saunders, but he was able to get out of bounds and face Santoro, preventing the score. And Santoro now has a chance to build up a little bit of riding time.
That's
and
right.
15 seconds. Oh, he didn't get it.
All right, so we're tied at 1-1 now.
And now it comes down to the takedown. Who's going to get it?
There's no advantage for riding time. No one has a hidden point anywhere in this 1-1 third period overtime for the 142-pound championship.
Oh, a nice single. Oh. Santoro trying to get the takedown. Saunders struggling to keep himself out of bounds and not allow the takedown to occur. And they dragged him out, but that was a good shot. Excellent opportunity to score. And again, it's Santoro who seems to be doing the action. A stall call here will cost one of these wrestlers the match if it ends 1-1.
Only 22 seconds remaining in this third overtime period. There's a list of criteria that will determine the winner in this. If it ends 1-1 and there's 14 seconds left.
Oh, boy, it looks like it is going to go to this criteria decision. It goes to the criteria no one was warned for overtime stall, so it's going to go back to the original match. And whoever had the most takedowns, and the pit corner is awful happy. Pit corner's awful happy. He's going to win it on the criterion. They're going to go to the head table and double-check the criteria to indicate.
Well, we'll let you in on what they're going to be talking about. Unsportsmanlike conduct, most points for a near fall, greater number of takedowns, greater number of reversals, time advantage.
Anytime in overtime, go green. Okay, let's make sure we go down. I want to make sure.
Fewer penalties, fewer warnings.
Most escape. Time advantage 15. No. Few penalties. No. Few penalties. No. We got number 10.
Number 10, green. Green, right?
And there you see it. It went all the way down to the number 10 criterion to decide.
Number 10 criteria, riding time in the overtime, green. Shake hands.
And that will decide.
Santoro wins it.
7 seconds of riding time.
That is a very difficult way to lose and a tough way to win, but a win is a win, and Santoro defends his title. So we've had 2 champions so far from last year come back and defend their crowns successfully. So Santoro the winner in overtime. We'll be back with more right after this.
Behold the dark ages of fitness.
State out of Mason City, and Carl Monaco from Montclair State. In the second period, Krieger with a takedown for a 2-0 advantage as we go to period number 3. 2 minutes of wrestling. And Monaco riding, Krieger was in the down position to start this third period. There's Krieger, who's had a magnificent year, undefeated in Big 8 competition. And Monaco, who lost to Krieger a 2-1 decision in the All-Star on riding time, trailing now 2-0. Period number 3.
Krieger up really quick to his feet. And
Monaco.
he's in the driver's seat. He's ahead 2-0, and he's on bottom. Monaco's going to have to turn him or build up a minute riding time and then hope that if Krieger does get away, he might even let him go, as we saw earlier with the Saunders match, and then go after the takedown to tie it. But if Krieger gets away, he's got that 3-0 lead.
Awfully tough to overcome.
He's going to need 2 takedowns to overcome it, Tom, and that's going to be real tough to do, the way these two have been wrestling thus far.
Third period action. The takedown occurred in period number 2. That's Monaco in the riding position, trying to turn Krieger, but Krieger's had too good a year, I think, to be trapped into a mistake now that would enable Monaco to do that. He's undefeated, 29-0 in competition coming in to this tournament, and they're over the line.
I'm beginning to wonder what would be the best strategy. He is going to need another 41 seconds to get riding time, and if he does that, it's going to only leave him about 40 seconds to get the takedown to tie it. And I think that's the route he's choosing to do by keeping him down here. If he can get that riding time point and a takedown, it'll knock the score at 3-3. But there's Krieger. He's got that roll almost set up, and Monaco is able to stay behind.
Monaco maintains control, which prevents Krieger from getting an escape. This is the takedown affected by Krieger, and that's 2 points now, as the referee indicates, and those have been the only points scored. We're in period number 3, a minute 13 remaining. The point came in period number 2. Krieger of Iowa State trying to effect an escape.
Monaco can't let him go. His only strategy here is to try to build up that riding time and then go for the tie.
They're off the mat. Riding time advantage 40 seconds. There's still a minute 3 to be wrestled here in this third period. Would leave him, well, about
43 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's enough time to get a takedown, but the way Krieger's been wrestling on his feet, it's tough to get to his legs. And thus far, he's the only one that has scored from his feet with that nice single that we just saw.
If Krieger should escape, well, and he did.
And he almost came back in. Now, Krieger's backing up a lot. That could have been a warning for stalling.
Let's make an attempt to stay on this circle, son.
And you hear the referee giving him the verbal warning. That's not an official warning, but the verbal one.
Yeah.
And that was rather flagrant, the old back up.
But it is 3-0 Krieger, Iowa State leading Monaco here in the third period, and you see the clock ticking away, 45 seconds.
Ooh, and Monaco trying a quick shuck there, and again, he's in on the single, but they're near that out-of-bounds line, and I think Krieger's going to be a little too smart to give him a takedown that close to being out of bounds. So he's got both legs now, so he can collapse him and keep him in. The toes now, it's just the toes.
Didn't get it. Didn't get it. Strelner, the coach, is up saying 2 points, we had him, but the referee said no. Boy, all they needed was the toes in. Did he keep the toes in?
You can see the line here, be the judge for yourself, and they're saying that toe's on the line right there, and that's what kept him.
How close.
And Red has received his first warning now. Krieger starting to be a little bit passive.
Seems to be too.
But out of bounds they go.
Only 8 seconds left, and he's down 3-0. I don't know how Monaco could pull this out.
He's got to get a big throw him right to his back. He's going to have to throw him right to his back here, and here's a close-up of what almost was a throw, putting Krieger on his back, but it was out of bounds. And
2 points for Krieger. That puts it out of shape as the time runs out. 5-0. Krieger with an undefeated year and caps it off with the NCAA championship. So Krieger wins it. 5-0, the official decision. 150-pound championship to the kid from Iowa State. We'll be back.
Ready for an all-new Sports Illustrated deep review.
Oh, Bird and Magic were unbelievable. Magic must have eyes in the back of his head.
Now they're set to go in the first period, a minute of 3 one-minute overtime sessions, and they're deadlocked at 1-1.
And everything starts afresh here. St. John, the number 1 seed in the tournament. Panaleo, the number 2 seed. So these are our 2 best 158-pounders in the country.
Now this is our second overtime session. Pantoro of Pitt defended his title. What's the criteria? 7 seconds of riding time determines the championship.
That's about as close as you can get it. That's the last criteria to determine a winner. And I'll tell you what, we might have that very same thing happen here the way these two have been going at it. They've been very calculated, neither one making any kind of a mistake to give the other an opportunity. Both having 1 or 2 good shots at a takedown. Pantaleo having the last one just at the end of regulation, but St. John able to counter him down.
Jeff, is it my imagination, or have we seen, or is it just the atmosphere of the championship night? There are more off the mat. We seem to be off the mat more times than we're on it in almost every division we've had.
Well, the one way you take a man out of a set position is motion. And so both athletes are using a lot of motion to try and create openings, try to create angle where they're not going straight into the teeth of the defense, thus giving them a little bit of an advantage and, of course, a good solid hold on the leg. And there they're out again. But they're active. It isn't as though one of them is just putting his back to the out of bounds.
Only one takedown suffered by St. John. It's 1-1, each man with an escape, and that's been the only point scored so far. Now we're going to go to period number 2, second minute in this overtime session. And it'll be Pantaleo down, and the rider will be St. John.
That's an incredible statistic with that takedown. 34 matches and only surrendering 1 takedown. And you got to figure you make at least a mistake in 34 matches somewhere along the line. And that's phenomenal. That says a lot about his ability on his feet. And thus far, he's frustrated Pantaleo, who's had 2 good shots thus far in regulation time, but nothing in this overtime period. And here he's trying to build up some riding time, just like we saw Santero win. He's trying to give himself every possible advantage.
It's scoreless here, period number 2 of the overtime.
Pantaleo has to be careful here. He doesn't want to give away too much riding time.
Coach Bobby Douglas screaming instructions. He's done a remarkable job out there at Tempe. NCAA championship last year. His team could end up second this time around. That's a great tribute to a fine coach and a fine program.
Well, the Big Ten and the Big 8 have dominated everything in wrestling, and it was good to see the Arizona program, which is the class of the Pac-10, come out there and win that match.
Better make that Arizona State.
Arizona State. I'm sorry about that. Didn't mean to offend anybody out west. Of course, I'll wrestle you about it. But there you saw St. John continuing to ride Pantaleo, keeping him down, and this is going to create a tough problem for the Michigan wrestler. I'm not sure how he's going to be able to come back from that minute rounding time.
Well, you see the riding time at 46 seconds now in favor of St. John, and it continues to build up. Now, it's obvious in a regular 3-session match, a minute would determine a point, but in the overtime, the most is going to determine a point. So, in essence, St. John, as they go into period 3 in this overtime, is leading, Jeff, 1-0.
Yes, and St. John with an escape will take the lead, and Pantaleo is going to need a takedown to win the match. That or get 2 stalling calls on St. John, but he lets him go right away. Yeah, why waste time? He knows that he doesn't want to keep St. John, let him sit down in the bottom position and all of a sudden escape at the end, so he's going for the takedown right now. This is make or break.
St. John is literally ahead 2-0. Officially 1-0, and there's an advantage point waiting to be tacked on. Only 44 seconds remain. Pantaleo really is going to have to take him down.
He has to take down. Yep. There won't be a point given for
in overtime.
Unless they're tied. Then they'll award it. And a takedown here will win it for Pantaleo, and that's why he let him go so early. He wanted as much time as possible. You might see a stall call here. Pantaleo, there it is. They've warned St. John from Arizona State now. Pantaleo here, if he can keep the pressure up, score a takedown, or force St. John into being too defensive, he'll get that penalty point, which will tie it up. Here you hear the crowd getting into it. They don't like St. John backing up, and boy, he backed up right out of bounds, and that's going to cost him. That's a point for stalling. That knocks the match at 1-1.
But the advantage time is going to give it to him.
It probably will.
11 seconds left.
You have to wait for the end of the match here.
He has 58 seconds, and
the difference being here, 1 point's a penalty point, the other point's a technical point, the escape point.
Okay, just wait 1 second.
Suddenly they're going over and talk to the officials have been asked to come over to the bench.
Douglas was questioning something.
Okay, come on, let's go.
So here's what led to that penalty point. St. John just retreating directly out of bounds.
No, you got to warn
And
him.
that cost him. That cost him that point for going out of bounds.
7 seconds, 6.
And this is going to come down to the wire, and there it is.
There's a takedown for 2 for St. John.
Pantaleo needed that takedown.
Couldn't get it. St. John did. He's gone in front 3-1. And no time left. So St. John is going to give Arizona State its first champion in 2 years. This year they'll finish second. Last year without a champion, they won it. What a year, huh? We'll be back with more right after this.
I'd rather switch than itch. So I switched to Tegrin.
Tegrin medicated shampoo controls all the major causes of itching and flaking. So Tegrin is more than strong enough for tough dandruff like yours.
Wouldn't you rather switch than itch?
Come see all the wonders down under with the airline who knows them best, Qantas.
I call Australia home.
Now, the final chapter, students, in Bosworth's book of etiquette. Personal hygiene. How will you separate yourselves from those barbaric hordes that exude a most malodorous air? Right guard sports stick from Gillette. Maximum protection and a fresh scent. A veritable olfactory medley. Right guard sports stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. Raise your glasses, gentlemen, to civilization.
I'll be there next week.
Of course, Mr. Hyler, a Lincoln Town car will be waiting for you.
At Budget, give us 3 days' notice, and we'll give you all the comfort of a luxurious Lincoln Town car for only $44.79 with unlimited mileage.
Hello, Budget Rent-A-Car.
I'd like to reserve a car, and I'll take that free upgrade.
Certainly, Mr. Hadley.
At Budget, a free upgrade is yours for the asking. And a frequent flyer card will get you unlimited mileage. Value mile after mile from Budget.
Hello, Budget Rent-A-Car.
Over 28 million adults get athlete's foot.
I'm Jim Bird. I had athlete's foot until I used MP27. It has an ingredient recommended by doctors.
Look, NP27 stops the burning, itching of athlete's foot fast.
NP27. Nothing's a better cure for athlete's foot.
It's time to play ball. The strong-arm staff of Georgia Tech battles the speedy Wichita State Shockers on Sunday night college baseball, live on ESPN.
Here's some of the action in the match between Dan St. John of Arizona State, and this is Pantaleo, and the takedown by St. John of Pantaleo of Michigan, 2 points, and ends the match with the score of 3-1, and a rather happy Dan St. John of Arizona State. Up on the scoreboard it says 87.25 points for Oklahoma State. They've won it. Right below that, team number 4, Arizona State, 70.5 points. And as the song goes, Dan, they can't take that away from me. So last year a national championship, this year second place, and you're a national champion. Congratulations.
Thank you. The whole match was, you know, like when you're a little kid.
Yes.
All the rest out there can relate to this. A guy jumps on your back and says, national championship, overtime, 30 seconds left. High score. You got to score. That's what I felt like out there.
And down with the takedown. You know, Jeff, what's interesting is this man has gone, I don't know, his whole lifetime without being taken down. Well, that's an amazing record. That's a great performance.
You only had one takedown in 34 matches. You were obviously really dominant on your feet. What do you attribute that to?
Bobby Douglas is a clinician with takedowns. When I walked in here, I couldn't tie my own shoes on my feet. I was a goer and I scrapped, and I would get things just because, you know, my scrapability. But now Bobby Douglas has worked with me and relaxing me when I rest on my feet more than when I first came, I was too hyper, like I'm talking right now. So now I'm a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more technical, and that's what I attribute to. Coach has taken it upon himself to make me good on my feet in 6 years.
All right, we move to the 167-pound championship. Dave Lee of Carmichael, California, and Baron Blakely. Lee wrestling for Wisconsin. Blakely is wrestling for Oklahoma. However, Arizona State, by virtue of Dan St. John's win in the 158-pound division, has solidified, captured, if you will, second place. Blakely, 3 decisions and a pin for Oklahoma. So some of the steam has gone out of his efforts, but I'm sure he's very much tuned in to being a national champion, and that'll be incentive enough for this young man from the Big 8.
Shake hands, gentlemen. Ready?
Dave Lee of Wisconsin in the red and white singlet.
And Lee taking Blakely right down, and sitting in Lee's corner is Dave Schultz, 84 Olympic champion, world champion, one of the best wrestlers ever the United States has put out in terms of technical ability, and I'm sure Lee has learned a lot from him. Lee transferred from Stanford, where Chris Orpel is the coach, and that's the person that gave Dave Schultz his start. So they share quite a bit of common ground.
In fact, he said his move to Wisconsin was prompted by the fact that Schultz was there.
Absolutely. Dave is a masterful technician. He's now the freestyle national coach for USA Wrestling, our Olympic program. Very good technician, strategist. Good rapport with the athletes. Now, Blakely's the number 6 seed and Lee's the number 1 seed. Blakely upset the number 2 seed, Farrell of Oklahoma State, in the semifinals. So, good match here.
The official is Ken Mara from Hickson, Tennessee. Lee leading 2-0. Trying to get some riding time here against Blakely. Approaching a minute in advantage time. 50 seconds, 51. 2 minutes remaining. Lee piling up riding time. He's reached over a minute now. Could translate into a point.
Out of bounds. Okay, bring down.
Minute 49 remaining in period number 2.
Blakely really wrestles lackadaisical. He did this in the semifinal match. It seems like you control him, but you never build up quite a big enough lead to secure the victory, and he was able to come back. We'll see what Lee's going to be able to do here. Oh, almost was able to get some back points. You have to hold the first 2 count once you're in there.
Oklahoma's coach Dan Abel was looking on very intently. He's up, training, and
he's done a great job with the Oklahoma team this year at this tournament. They were not picked to have anything to do with being in the top 3, and they fought gallantly to try to get second place, but they're going to have to settle for 3rd. And here Lee is able to turn Blakely now. There you see the referee counting it out.
Back point.
When he reaches the 5 count, there he did. He's now earned 3 back points.
3.
It goes to 5-0 now in favor of Lee of Wisconsin.
Oh, and that knee just buckled down.
On Blakely, his left knee just gave out.
Take your time, take your time, take your time.
If you can't see what happened, there you saw that leg kind of turn in, and then right after that, he just wasn't able to support himself.
Here we go, guys.
Referee asked if he was all right. Blakely said yes, he wants to continue.
57 seconds remain here in the period.
Lee might take advantage of this now. He sees an opportunity. Oh, and Blakely quickly in on Lee's ankle. But Lee able to counter and square off with him. He's now in on the leg, and he's going to get to the... He earns the takedown from that. Nice little counter by Lee of Wisconsin.
Runs the score to 7-0 in favor of Lee. 7-1.
See now what Lee's going to do here. Obviously, Blakely was holding on to one of his arms. He couldn't improve. The referee saw that, blew the stalemate. They'll start over here. Lee on top.
Wait for me, Red.
Blakely was looking to the corner, looking for some advice there. I'd say now, trailing by 6 points, he's going to have to come up with a real big move. It's too early to pull a panic button. There's still a lot of wrestling time left. 4 minutes between the 2nd and 3rd period, but Lee looking very dominant, very good, being able to control him. And when you're down in the down position this long, it has a physical effect on you. It wears you down. Not carrying a lot of weight, and there you see a stall warning now. I'm beginning to wonder how bad that knee's affecting him on the bottom.
We're going to go to period number 3. Excuse me, number 2. 2 minutes and 30 seconds advantage time, or riding time for Lee. He's leading 7-1, and that would easily translate into an additional point.
Blakely was looking back at his corner.
Got a stall warning there, and the referee was informing him of that again, reminding him.
And Lee lifting up that
suspect leg, eh?
Yeah, he's trying to cross over the ankles there, which will give him leverage to try to turn Blakely again to his back. Now he's going for three-quarter Nelson. Got it fairly tight.
Gave up on that.
You heard Schultz yelling tight, tight, tight. You can tell that he's working with Lee on that. Now here's the turn he used earlier. Leg in. He'll try to hip. Blakely takes over, and there it is.
Almost a pin.
There was a 2 count. He's earned at least 2 points there. The points will not be awarded until the hold is broken.
Dangerously close to pinning him, was he not?
That was real close. It was just a 1-second count.
2, 3.
There's the 3-pointer now. He's earned 3 back points. They won't award him until that hold is broken, and Lee now might try to turn this into the fall.
Down his chin, Top. You're in good shape. You're in good shape.
They're watching that arm across Blakely's neck and throat there, and you can hear the referee saying it's good shape, telling him he's not choking him. You can keep it.
Stay up on the ankle now.
You hear him also. You can see where his hand is on the foot. If he goes to the toe, that'll be called a toe hold, and that's illegal.
3. Got 3 more. That makes it 10-1. Lee with an enormous advantage now. Period number 2, just a half minute remaining.
Still got that leg in now. He might be able to force him over one more time. There it is. He's trying it again. Here it is. You hear Schultz saying scrape. He wants Lee to keep his chest along the mat and keep going to the side, and they're going to stop it.
Imminent near fall. 2. Injury time green.
And there's that scream roller. If you scream in pain, they gave him the 2 points and break the hold to allow the defensive man out of that position. Now 12-1.
You ready to go, Green?
You can tell the knee is bothering him.
Well, Blakely really appears to be in pain and in trouble, but he's going to continue. 16 seconds remain here in the second period. Lee with what appears to be an overwhelming advantage. 12-1.
There's a switch, and he's able to get through the escape, the neutral position.
Blakely, as banged up as he is, gets the point back.
If I was Blakely now, I'd be looking for some kind of an upper body throw. Getting a 2-point takedown is going to do very little. I actually ran out of time there.
And he's still limping out there, and he's trailing 12-2. And, of course, the riding advantage, your advantage time is predominantly in favor of Lee if he should need the extra point. 4 minutes and 19 seconds.
Well, they're in the standing position. I think this is to Blakely's advantage. He trails by a considerable margin, but what he needs is a big throw, something to put Lee on his back. Try to pin him.
I would think, Jeff, that a pin is his only chance.
That is his only hope, yes. And the best place to do that is try to do it from your feet with an upper body throw. Shooting a single here isn't going to do much for him. Even if he was successful, he'd only get 2 points. Maybe he feels there's something he can do in the advantage position when he's on top to turn Lee. But if I was here right now, I'd be starting to go big points. He's got nothing to lose. He's really coming into a desperate situation where anything should go.
Pick it up, guys. Action now. Action.
Only a minute 19 remaining in this, the third period, and Lee of Wisconsin with an enormous advantage of 12-2, make it 12-4 now. Well, Blakely certainly hasn't given up, Jeff.
He's showing a lot of guts here, a lot of intestinal fortitude to stay out there despite having an injured knee. He knows he's limited in what he can do right now, but this is the national finals, and it's a long season and a lot of work you put in, and I'm sure he is not going to admit defeat until he hears that last whistle blow.
Still, please. Come on down, top.
He might still have a trick up his sleeve. We'll see here.
Lee of Wisconsin.
Here, if he could stand up with that arm into the body like that, that would have been a good chance to try to uncork a throw, but he breaks clean. And unless he tries something upper body, this is really over right now, Tom.
13-4 plus a minute for riding time, a point for riding time. So it actually is a 14-4 match.
I'm not sure how much experience Blakely has with going for some upper body throws. He's got the ankles again, which is nice.
2 more.
Takedown.
13-6.
Lee knows he can get these things up. You know, he's never going to be able to catch up playing the takedown game here. He's going to have to look for a turn there. He reached for the head. He should go all the way for it. But it's academic now.
9 seconds and ticking down. Period number 3. Lee of Wisconsin appears to be a lock for the 167-pound championship. That's it. Boy, look at the advantage in that 3:35 in riding time. Makes it 14-6 is the official count, and Lee is the winner. There he is, Dave Lee, senior from Wisconsin, the champion at 167 pounds. Very impressive performance. Back with more right after this. Into Joe Stay's book, along with the national team championship that the Cowboys have won.
And the crowd is trying to pump up Chris Barnes. These two are living up to their earlier meeting this year. They drew in the Coaches All-Star Classic. And it's Barnes who's got the good single now. He's only got a little bit of room, but he's dragging Lloyd to the center of the mat, taking that out of bounds away from him. And there's the takedown. Oh, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Oh, he had it pulled enough.
That's it. He's got it now.
Leg hook. That's why it was a takedown.
He's got it now.
They're saying he had the leg hook momentarily. They've given an escape point back to Lloyd, but it's a 2-to-1 match right now.
And Barnes is asking for time and injury time. And Turner, the coach at Lockhaven, is really up shouting at the official. He did not think that that was a legitimate takedown.
It was
Turner's really
close. It was very close. You see Barnes having Lloyd's leg high in the air, and he's going to step through and trip. And as he does so, Lloyd is going to land on the mat, and now the chase begins. He starts to spin around behind and watch Chris Barnes' right leg. He's going to step and try to hook Lloyd's leg, and there it was, and right there was the takedown awarded momentarily. Pretty good call by the official. Ready, man?
Turner is still upset about it, Jeff. He's out talking to the assistant official now, but it's not going to change anything. 2-1 Barnes of Oklahoma State.
Action is really, really fast, and it's always tough to see it, and a lot of times it is judgmental. But that so far has been the best attack of the match, and they awarded Chris Barnes for that effort, giving him that takedown, and he leads 2-1 at the end of the first period. The first,
Green takes neutral. On the mark, men.
Here we go for the second period. It'll be a minute in duration.
And Barnes has chosen to stay up on his feet. That's an interesting call. Maybe he doesn't want to give Lloyd any chance of riding him at all by choosing the down position, and doesn't want to give him an escape by choosing the up position.
When he got that injury time, Jeff, I failed to notice what it was for. It didn't seem to be that major. But they quickly stopped it for a couple of seconds at any rate. This is the second period. We're in overtime. And Barnes of Oklahoma State leading 2-1.
So he might be playing this little bit of a strategy game with the criteria. The takedown is one of the first criteria, but here's Lloyd almost having a takedown, and the out-of-bounds save Chris Barnes. That takedown will win, even though Lloyd might be able to get a point when he's in bottom in the third. I'm sure he'll choose bottom in the third period, go for the escape and not the score up, and then go for the takedown. But Barnes, that takedown will weigh heavy with the criteria. Lloyd needs some points. He's got to score some points. He knows he's behind the 8 ball at this point.
2-1, Barnes leads. The second overtime period coming to a close. Just 10 seconds.
Let him in, work in, man.
Barnes needs to be careful. Lloyd was a little cagey earlier, taking that quick shot from that spot. 4 seconds. Both wrestlers need to move forward, otherwise one could get cautioned. And they're going to sit on it to the third period. And here I'm sure he'll choose down. He'll go for the tie score and then go for the takedown from there.
Ready, set.
That's Neil Turner of Lockhaven, the coach who was unhappy about the 2-point takedown call. And now with a minute left in this overtime.
I almost wonder if that was a smart move by Lloyd. He should have just chosen the up position. And that way.
There's the point. That ties it now at 2-2.
But he still needs the takedown.
The takedown would weigh heavily if they go.
The criteria will give it to Barnes because he has the only takedown, so he knows he still loses it. That's why I question him going down. There's a warning call now. The next one might cost him a point, and there he could win it. So he now has Barnes in a little bit of trouble as well. Barnes has got to stay out there and fight hard.
Turner shouting instructions at his man.
And here he's He's got a single on Chris Barnes. We'll see how Barnes is able to counter him down.
25 seconds, 22 counting down. This is the third period in overtime. They're tied at 2, but Barnes, by virtue of a takedown, will have the best on the criteria should it come to that. Turner is very frustrated over there, the Lock Haven coach. I don't know at whom, either his wrestler or the official.
He wanted a stall warning against Chris Barnes for hanging on, but neither wrestler could improve there. That was a tough choice. It's judgmental, and it's going to go to Chris Barnes on criteria.
There's 2 seconds.
It's going to go to Chris Barnes for
It's over.
takedown.
It's over. Barnes with a takedown. All right, the referee now will have to go over for the criteria call, and he'll go to the official bench. But obviously, Oklahoma State's coach, Jose Barnes, and the Cowboy fans are on top of their game. Here, Barnes is the winner.
They won't even go over. It's a real obvious one. It's one of the first criteria listed is takedown. And Chris Barnes got the only one of the match to win at the 177-pound national championship.
Well, it's the second champion for Jose, and it goes with the national team championship he picked up. What a night for the Cowboys. We'll be back.
Odious, contemptible, stupid.
Shoulder area, but he said he's all right. He's ready to go. There's Volkler.
Well, he certainly had trouble in that match. He had a commanding lead and won just 9-7, giving up a bunch of points in the end. And here's Volker. He knows the third-place team score is in his hands here. He won the NCAA 2 years ago. He is the #1 seed this year. Whitehead is the #2. So you're looking at the best 90-pounders in the country. And Volker had 2 tough matches, one in the corner going into overtime and in the semis going into overtime. And we'll see now with a day's rest if he's ready here in the finals to carry Iowa State to a third-place finish.
To be good at anything, you have to have an aura of confidence about you. Some people, critics, would say he's just cocky. But let me tell you, Volker today had an elbow injury that required surgery early. He's only had 23 matches this year, so he probably is right in the middle of what would ordinarily be a season of dual competition. And he said, I'm the best out here. That's why they made me #1.
And that's the reason why he went right in and took Whitehead down. Used a nice shot there. Immediately releases him, and I think he might try to play the takedown game here with Mark Whitehead. We'll see. Again, in on a nice double leg again. Ooh, unable to finish, but good penetration step, good attack.
His teammate, Tim Krieger, was the winner earlier, as you saw on the show tonight. Interesting, both men were champions a couple of years ago, and now he's coming back trying to get his second title in 3 years.
Here you see Mark Whitehead coming right in, and Volker doing a nice job. That could be a takedown. Nope, he's got that leg too strong there. That was real close as well.
Whitehead is in the finals for the first time, and he was frank to admit he wrestles better on his feet. He's not a mat wrestler.
I think Volker feels the same way there. Maybe Volker will try to ride him once he gets the match into his frame of style, you know, keeping them down and getting a little bit of a lead and then hanging on. That's tradition in the Big Eight. They're very tough once they get the lead.
Volkler leading at 2-0. We're in the first period, the minute 36, as the clock ticks away now in this opening 3-minute session.
Volker's been here before. He's been in the finals. He knows what it's like in the pressure. But this is Mark Whitehead's first one. And you saw Volker come right out and take him down. And that might have been experience talking, knowing you got to come right out and score. Mark Whitehead now seems to have gained his composure. Now seems to be taking the match a little bit to Volker.
When you see these two in the upright neutral position, Volker is a bit taller than Whitehead. He's over 6 feet. He's always been a 190-pound wrestler, he told me. Even as a sophomore when he won it, an 87, 190-pounder. And I asked him if his height was an advantage or disadvantage. He said, I got long arms. I don't look at it as a disadvantage at all.
Ooh, and here Mark Whitehead has Volker really extended now. Let's see if he can take advantage and try to get the takedown from there. If Volker just hangs on, the referee calls a stalemate, they'll start back up on the feet. That was the same technique that Volker scored on first right away, sort of a high crotch blast and just collapsing Mark Whitehead to his side. But Whitehead, having had it happen to him once, saw it coming, was able to counter it out. And almost was able to turn that into a takedown for himself.
Well, Linder, we'll introduce you to the referee. It's Brian Manzi from Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh, a nice move by Whitehead. And, oh, wow, Volker with a nice elevator, using his legs to keep Whitehead's body up in the air above him, never giving Whitehead control.
Wasn't that close to a pin? Wasn't he close to pinning him?
That's a real tough call there, but sure, going to your back at any time, you run the risk that it could work against you. But they did not give Mark Whitehead anything there, and that was real close.
Well, he's got an escape at any rate, and it's 2-1. Volker with the takedown, leading.
Oh, beautiful blast shot.
2 more for Volker.
You saw how low he went. He went right down and put both hands on the mat and then just drove forward, and he caught the ankles. It's tough when the shoulder hits you in the shin between the knee and the ankle to keep your balance. And Whitehead got slammed down, and the takedown was scored. He's ahead 4-1.
Volker goes on to maintain his advantage, taking a 7-2 win over Whitehead. Volker winning his second title in 3 years, and the second of the Iowa State Cyclones to claim a championship tonight. By virtue of that victory there, Volker moves Iowa State into the number 3 spot, ahead of Oklahoma, as the Sooners were unable to do anything about advancing despite having 2 men wrestling tonight. We'll be back in a moment.
Ingredients. It's Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. And best of all, it's for you.
You got the taste for you.
At Dick, we've been studying all...
And as we are now going to the 3rd period, Hasselrig leading 1-0, but is thoroughly frustrated so far, it would appear, Jeff.
Certainly has been. He's unable to get his offense going in the first period. He's a real good takedown wrestler and really frustrated. Really gave up a point for stalling, but I think that was part of his strategy. And you can hear him screaming and saying his Hasselrig is really trying to work him.
So they're out of bounds now. This is the 3rd period. Hasselrig leads 1-0.
Injury time. Injury time, Green.
And some injury time for Greenlee. He does have riding time, 1:37. And there's 1:38 left on this 3rd period clock. So it could end up 1-1, and we might end up going to an overtime.
Taking a look at what might have happened to Greenlee's knee. You see Hasselrig there scooping the ankle, driving forward, and in that driving, there's a lot of pressure on Greenlee's back and Greenlee's knee. If he tries to take the pressure off the back, all the pressure goes to the knee. And there you can see Hasselrig just relentlessly grinding him until they went out of bounds, and it took its toll. But still, he's trailing 1-0. Greenlee gets away. It's 2-0. He's built up some riding time. Hasselrig at some point is going to have to get a takedown to win this match.
That's right.
That or turn him.
It stands right now. It's no better than even, a 1-1. Greenlee trying to escape now. Hasselrig picked him up, slams him back down.
You heard the referee counting. He wants Hasselrig to return him to the mat.
Inbounds, you're in.
I believe what he's going to do here is trying to get it just under a minute and then release him.
The wrestling, gentlemen.
Takes the riding time away, and then they're fighting just for that last takedown. Don't forget, Greenlee's been called for warning. If he gets hit again, that's going to tie the matchup.
All of a sudden, as Pecora looks on, and that's the coach Briggs of Northern Iowa, Greenlee looks as big as Hazelrig out there, doesn't he, huh?
A little bit.
1-0. Hazelrig is leading.
Hasselrig focuses on Greenlee.
Inbounds, working.
Keep him in bounds, try to kill all that riding time.
Only 8 seconds away from making that advantage time or 1 point count in this match.
If you can make that disappear, I look for Carlton at that point to let him go and then go after the takedown.
He glanced over at the clock. I think he's fully aware of what that riding time situation is.
I don't think he's going to be able to turn Greenlee.
1, 2, 3.
Got him back down again. The riding time is off.
Now we'll see what he's going to do.
He leads 1-0, and there's 54 seconds left to go. That's Pecora. You can see Briggs with his hands in his pockets there.
Get it flat. Got his head down.
They're very close to being off the mat again.
I'm a little confused here. If Carlton's looking for the turn and comes up empty, he loses. I'm not sure what's his strength. It's either let him go with his takedown ability, which he was frustrated at, but it's late in the match now. You know, things might have changed. That knee seemed to be bothering Greenlee. He's been ridden now for a minute. He might be a lot more tired than he was in the first period. Hasselrig might be able to get in there, but he seems to be choosing to keep riding him, and that strategy might work against him because he might wind up, unless he turns him, he's going to lose, period. Greenlee keeps getting to his feet. He's fulfilling, trying to get away.
They're back over the line. They'll come back to the center of the mat. There's 28 seconds left. You don't think Hasselrig can hold on for a 1-0 here?
Greenlee will win. He's ahead 1-0. Oh, you're right. Excuse me. Hasselrig will win 1-0 for Greenlee stalling.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to keep him down. He's going to keep him from getting away. He said even... Well, I doubt he wants to get called for stalling, but as long as he does things like that, he's got the turf. He's got that leg hook.
19 seconds.
They're trying to get him out of bounds there. He's still in.
Now he's out. They're coming back again. As long as Hasselrig continues to try to turn him, they're not going to call him, give him a stalling or anything like that, huh?
They won't call him for stalling. He'll win the match 1-0 because of Greenlee stalling in the first period.
Well, if he wins it, he's going to be our third champion to successfully defend his title here tonight. We've had 2 schools with double winners, Oklahoma State and Iowa State. It's been a great night. Hasselrig trying to make sure his man doesn't get away.
He's showing a lot of confidence in his ability to ride, and champions have that kind of confidence.
1 second, it's over. Hasselrig has won it 1-0. I tell you, you've got to take your hat off to Greenlee. Greenlee really put on a great show, Jeff. He battled this big champion from Pittsburgh, Johnstown, right to the paw. 1-0. Hasselrig, the winner. 3 times Division I champion. That's really 2 hat tricks. We'll be back right after this.
Pretty boy Larry Sharp, and you have reached the Monster Factory, the finest training center for professional wrestlers in the world. And if you want to get to be one of those professional wrestlers that you see on television...
These monsters have traveled a long way.
Came all the way from Darby, Pennsylvania. Right at 650, 700 miles to come down for the tryouts from Columbus.